Most guys do not want to be friends with the ugly girl. It is always going to be mainly the pretty ones. And I say this because whenever it is a pretty girl, you have more of an incentive to be in a friendship with her. I'm telling you, most guys are friends with girls just because they find them attractive. And fellas, if you disagree with me, you're fucking lying. And this is why I can't believe in guys being friends with girls. Because there's always a hidden intention behind the scenes.
Oh. Like, right? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Omaomi aka Petite Diva, and in this video we are discussing the ugly duckling syndrome. Now in this video we are checking out the experience of some women who say that they were the ugly friend in the friend group, and they're just talking about how it made them feel and how some of them realized that they were the ugly friend in the group. So if you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe, and let's get into this video.
There's a conversation about what it's like being the ugly friend in the friendship group. Have you ever felt like you were the ugly friend of your group, but had those feelings of not feeling as pretty as the rest of your friends?
I was thinking about this a lot. So I think not from friends, but definitely at home. So I have like two stepsisters very close in age. One's like 3 years older, one's a year younger. So we was always together in school at the same time, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, like, because my stepmom, and I haven't spoken about this before, she was not a nice person to me. Like, I was the ugly one. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm darker as well. So there's a mix going on. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't really, I just saw it as fact, and I took what she said as literal. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is a fact, and she, you know, she's my parent, you know, do you know what I mean? Like, her opinion is it's not an opinion, actually.
Yeah, that's the state.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
this is how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I was definitely treated differently, which I won't go all into, but definitely there was a difference in terms of like how I looked, how I was dressed, how I was treated in the home. Like, I wasn't allowed to go into like certain rooms and stuff and things like that. It was just very, and this was all attributed to like what I look like. Do you know what I mean? So it was very like a lot. Yeah.
Just always felt that I was ugly, and I'd never had the validation from anybody. Mum would always say she was cute, I was cute, and it was such a beautiful baby, but then there was not like, you're such a beautiful girl, or you're such a beautiful, do you know what I mean? And I don't think she even meant it, because she says it, she gives me so many compliments today. But I think growing up, she always said, Honan, you were such a beautiful baby, but it was me following trends that would be, well, why have you done this to your hair? Why have you done this? Or why are you doing this? And why are you doing that? So then it was not necessarily, I never ever felt my mum thought I was ugly at all. But there was never like, oh, you look so beautiful, because I was a tomboy. I would wear the latest fashions out for an immigrant mum. Like, what the hell are you doing? Baggy trousers, all that type of stuff. So the way I dressed myself, she would have complimented me if I wore like Whitley Gilbert suits of the 90s. If I was dressed in a suit and a skirt, that's how she wanted me to dress. So there was that. So in the home, it was, you're a beautiful baby. What the hell are you wearing now? In school, I don't know if I was the ugly friend, but I was definitely made to feel like I was an ugly friend by boys. I went to white schools in my primary school, middle school, and high school. And in primary school, I'm surrounded by white boys. And though when you're around what you're around, you fancy what you fancy. So yeah, I remember fancying the boys in the school, because that's all you had as you're growing up. No one ever moved to me. No one said I was nice. I remember there was a mixed race boy in the year above. It's like I had to hold on to my blackness even as a little girl. So there was a mixed race boy in the year above that I fancied him always throughout the years, but no one paid me any attention, and everyone around me was getting attention. And then, you know, there were also, when we moved to high school, there were white girls that were getting black boys and mixed race boys, and again, no one's paying me any attention. And so I went through that as, I don't get attention. I fancy boys, of course, but then no, I wouldn't get any attention. And I think as that went on, I resigned myself to the fact that I'm not pretty. So I definitely refused to dress up my pretty.
This just was the first time you knew you were the ugly friend? Mine was when I was 10 years old and I was with a group of my friends and we were all talking to this guy that we all thought was super cute. We thought it'd be a fun idea to ask him, oh, what's the best quality of each of us that you like? You know, as a typical guy, he was like, I like your eyes, I like your smile, I like your whatever. Then it was my turn. He literally looked at me for a full 30 seconds and couldn't think of a single thing. So I started to get a little sad. You could literally see in my eyes. So he looked at me like this. I like your forehead. Huh? My forehead. Thank you. That's when I knew I was the ugly friend.
If you feel like you're the friend that don't get approached while out, here's what you can do. Build your confidence. And I know it sounds cliche, but you want to be the most confident person that you can be. So when you go out and you don't get approached, you have the mindset of like, okay, my man wasn't in this space. So that means I'm going to meet him
in another space
at another place on another date. Y'all gonna always hear me say I have the mindset of what's for you will always be for you, because that's so true. Just because you don't get approached right then and there doesn't mean you won't ever get approached. Yes, it sucks to see like, you know, your friends getting approached and you don't. You start questioning yourself, like, is there something wrong with me? Am I ugly? Do I not look approachable? Sometimes for me, I don't look approachable. A lot of people tell me I got the RBL, first and bitch face. So build your confidence. And as somebody, I'm not going to say I don't get approached, because I do. I just get approached by men that I just don't want. That's a whole different story. But when it comes to just seeing your friends and, you know, don't be jealous or envious of your friends. Just build your confidence to the point where you're okay if you get approached or not.
How to tell if you're being treated like the ugly friend. So growing up, I definitely say I was considered the ugly friend. And this is just the things I've noticed and picked up on. One thing I noticed was people would let me know. Oh, wow, would they let me know?
Wow.
And it was never to my face, because people are fake. They would literally like just talk behind my back. Like they'd just do a whole bunch of yapping behind my back. See, now I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I was a little ugly. But for some reason, I had the fattest, dirtiest ego on the planet. Anytime a guy was looking at me, I was like, stop staring at me, I see you looking, stop. Like, I literally actually give them dirty looks back, because I'm like, I'm not interested. They wasn't looking at me because they thought I was pretty. I was just delusional. Next is how you get treated next to your prettier friends. All my friends were pretty growing up, at least to me. When I was next to them, I was invisible. Guys would treat me like I was vermin. Like they pulled me out of the drain and looked at me and said, ew. So like after a while, I started noticing, oh my gosh, like I do not get attention like how they do. Like all the guys would be on them like, hey, how are you? I would dress like an absolute slut in winter, no matter what anybody said, just to try and get some attention, because I was desperate. And no matter what I did or how I dressed, these guys were not paying attention to me. It wasn't just the guys. The girls would treat the prettier girls better as well. They'd literally gag on their because it was pretty. Personally, for me, I don't have anybody's balls in my mouth. Next is if people are just rude to you, like unnecessarily. Nobody knew that I was a big-headed bitch in my head, but I was still always really nice to everybody. People were just rude. Once again, it was always the teenage boys, because I swear I have PTSD from how teenage boys treated everybody growing up. Pretty girl would be like, oh no, I'm cold. Can I have your jacket? Oh yeah, sure, I'll give you my jacket. Do you want my kidney? Do you want my life? I will hand my life over to you. I will sign a contract. I will sell my soul to the devil. But if I said, hey, can you pass me that thing over there? Talk to me again and I'm going to kill you. I'm going to murder your mum. I'm going to murder your dad. I'm going to murder your family. Next is they'd only focus on like one asset that you have. When I was growing up, I had a big bum and I had big boobs. I would not get referred to as my name. I wouldn't get called pretty, but what I would get called out as was, hey, light skin with a big bum. They didn't think I was pretty. They didn't even take the time out to learn my name, but they remembered that I had a bum. And that was the only thing that made them show any small type of respect towards me. You would not get invited places, and when you did get invited, people just like seem like they just didn't care whether or not you was there. It was actually so embarrassing. People would literally sit there and be like, yeah, come if you want. What do you mean? Did I show up like a little desperate child? Yeah, of course I did. So I showed up like a desperate child. Was I proud of it? Yeah, probably. And last but not least, on the days where you actually looked like different or prettier, or when you started to have a glow up, the girls you used to know were jealous. The way some of these girls switch up when they realize they can't use you as the ugly friend anymore. Instead of just saying, oh, you're pretty, they will find any way to bring you down and still make you feel like that ugly friend. Because now they got a little bit of competition. They got some competition and they didn't expect that from you. I ended up getting a lot of attention from guys because I also had the body and then my face just got nicer. And some of these girls, they would just make snarky comments like, why does she always get all the guys? Like, oh, why is he talking to her? Like, why are all these guys moving to you? And I'm like, because I'm pretty. Like, they try to make you feel like the unbelievable has just happened if a guy speaks to you. But more of the story is you're not the ugly friend, okay? People are just freaking salty and teenage boys are just assholes.
For my ugly slash conventionally unattractive girls, I have a question. How do you find the confidence to keep being yourself and keep being you, day to day, despite everything you see in the media and like around you in life in general? I feel like my self-confidence, especially since I've moved here, keeps wavering. Some days I'm like, oh, I like myself, but then other days I'm like, oh, I don't really like the way I look. And I'm getting very tired of this. I'm getting tired of the way my brain is trying to make me feel. I turn 25 next month. 25 years is too many years to feel this way about myself. I feel like I've had enough. And whilst I feel like I don't care about what people, perceive me or what they think of me, I feel like it's me, myself, and how I see my reflection that's just been affecting me. And I've been doing things to change that, but I feel like I can be doing a lot more. I think another thing is that I feel as if I wait for permission to do certain things. I don't know if it's a youngest Nigerian child thing, but I feel like that's also holding me back a lot. Like, I've been not super attractive for 25 years now. I just feel like my brain should be, used to it and not keep telling me things about myself, but it still does. I'm trying to get it to stop. And I know therapy would most likely help me, but I cannot afford that right now. I'm going to a day party tomorrow, and at first I was kind of excited, but now I'm just dreading it because I just know how I'll start to think and how I will start to feel. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm tired of this. I just want to change here. If someone can take out my brain and do some little surgeries and then put it back, that would be good. Or you can take out my eyeballs and I can put other eyeballs that I can see myself. So hopefully that will change the way I perceive myself. Either way, I want to really focus this next year on changing myself and bettering myself.
That's a good
I don't know if I
idea.
should document that. And also, before anyone comments, oh, but you're not, you don't look, this video is not for that. I just wanted to yap and get this off my chest.
I saw 2 different videos about men complaining about the ugly friend at the bar, like blocking them from talking to the hot friend. And these 2 men both framed it as this ugly friend, aka just the friend they don't find as attractive, is jealous of and bitter of their attractive friend. And while it's totally possible that a woman can be jealous of her friend, most of the time, that's not what's happening. This is copium, my guy. Here's the dynamic that you're missing. Usually, this ugly friend, this is their language, but basically, the woman they don't find attractive, usually that woman is bigger. She's fat, she's larger, she's taller, whatever it is. They're just not drawn to her in the same way they're drawn to the little 5'3" girl that's 100 pounds soaking wet. And sometimes that 5'3" woman is not interested in talking to you, but you're 5'11", my guy, and she's afraid to tell you that, or to signal it in any way that's not like, no thanks, or like, oh no, I'm okay, and you're just not hearing her. And that's when someone like me steps in. I'm 5'9", and I'm not worried about having a power imbalance against you as much as she is. So I literally insert myself between you and her. In fact, most of the time, when men get uppity or rowdy or they're drunk and they just won't stop, it's women defending other women. Do you know how many times I've had to come to the defense of women I do not know at bars because there is a drunk guy who just will not stop? And there are plenty of men around us, and the guys don't do anything. It's not until the drunk guy starts gesticulating wildly or speaking too loud, or one of the women are like, you need to stop, and we like project it, and some guy intervenes and pulls away their, 5'11" friend who could, really hurt one of us if they really don't know any better. So next time one of her friends is telling you that she's not interested, it's probably because she's not.
Another way to know if you have been the assigned ugly friend, if we're talking about social media settings, is that whenever you go out with one another, they never like to acknowledge on social media that they hang out with the likes of somebody like you, the assigned ugly friend. The reason why I say this is that you serve a purpose for them when they go out, when they want male attention, when they need just a little bit of company and accessory when they're outside in real life. But you see, social media, that's their constant place where they're able to angle themselves for the life they want to live, because they're aspiring. The pretty girl's always looking for something. If it's not the male gaze, it's for something. So you'll find that you'll go out with them. If you tag them in a video, they won't acknowledge it, they won't repost it. You find yourself recording them. If they record you, you never see that footage. They don't send you anything, and they definitely don't post it. Or they will encourage you to record them or take pictures of them, but they never return the favor. And if they do take a picture of you, they always conveniently take a bad picture of you. The reason why I say this is because it's pretty evident, because there's only two other girls that trump the typical pretty girl. That's the popular girl. She's normally a model or an influencer. She is well known, very popular, and has the social media following to back that. Or you have the rich girl. We're talking generational wealth, aristocrat. We're talking the wallet of daddy that gets her into rooms that the pretty girl could only dream of. Yeah, and that's who she really wants to be friends with. People normally aspire upwards. That's just society.
After God, fear women. Because what do you mean you're only friends with me because I'm
Wow.
ugly? Did you know that girls will be friends with you because they think that you're unattractive? If you didn't, then you need to watch this video, because I'm going to give you guys the signs to know if your friend is only friends with you because she deems you unattractive. Everyone's heard of a girl only being friends with you because you're pretty. If you want me to do the signs on how to know if a girl's only friends with you because you're pretty, I can do that next, but we're focusing on the uglies. First of all, quick disclaimer. Just because she thinks you're ugly doesn't mean that you're ugly. If anything, she's ugly because her heart is ugly. I just feel like when you have an inside that's ugly, it makes your outside look ugly. Sign number one that a girl is only friends with you because she thinks that you're unattractive is you could be looking a hot mess and she'll tell you that you look good, babe. You look amazing, babe. Probably compliments you more when you look bad than when you actually look good. When I say you look a hot mess, I'm talking about things like your under eyes is looking very scary. Your lace is lifting, like your lace is talking to us, kind of like mine right now. Not too much. Is it glueless? I haven't glued it yet. Another thing that's really clear is like if she's not telling you the dress code, if she on purposely has you look stupid, like it's an event where you have to wear heels. She told you that your flats were okay, no, full well they won't even let you in the flats. Real question is, why would somebody do that? The reason why they do it is because they want all the attention to be on them, specifically male attention. Because you know, anytime there's ever a fake friend, it's always to do with man. It's typically just so that all the male attention can be on them. It makes them look prettier. It's weird because it really and truly, it just shows your insecurities, but are we surprised that they're insecure?
I used to be like more with the boys because I knew that they didn't have any drama and they didn't make me feel as shitty sometimes, because I've always been like very into comparing myself with everyone around me. And of course, my friends, majority of them are like super cute. And I was not like the cutest kid, okay? I remember, and I think I have told this story like multiple times, but I don't care, I'm still gonna tell you. But I remember one time I was hanging out with two of my best friends, and they are very pretty girls, like very pretty. And we were, what, in like 5th grade, I wanna say? And then this guy came with us, and he was in like 10th grade. Okay, he was like older than us. He was talking to us and he took a look at us, my friends and I. You know what he said? He pointed out my two friends, literally besides me. Like literally, I was besides them. And he was like, you two are gonna be so cute when you grow up. What about me? Why are you not telling me that to me? You know? So I felt like shit. And I still remember, even if I was like, I don't know, like 10, I still remember, you know, like I have trauma from that interaction.
Did you all see that video where this one girl was like, I am not friends with ugly people? What I find so fascinating about that take is I genuinely miss the person I was when I was uglier, and the person some of my friends were when we were all uglier before we felt like we had to glow up and society forced us into the roles we now have. Specifically, I miss the fact that I used to genuinely think being ugly was not a big deal. Like, okay, I'm ugly, somebody else is bad at math, it's more important to me that I'm smart or good at piano, some people are bad at violin and good at the flute. Like, it was just one thing. And then suddenly it became the most important thing, especially as a young woman of color, right? Like, where it wasn't just, oh, she's ugly and that's just like one attribute, which is totally fine, I think. Like, what's the big deal? Like, physical beauty is not important, should not be important in the modern world, right? And then it suddenly became the most important thing. Like, no, everybody's beautiful. Everybody can be beautiful. It's so unwoke and inappropriate to imply that someone might not be beautiful because it's so important. I really hate that. Like, I miss not caring about my physical appearance. And even if I was ugly and knew I was ugly, I was like, oh, okay, and what? And what? It is not even a thing that crosses my mind as something that I should care about in my friends, like, at all, right? Like, because it's just an attribute that is unimportant. My friends should be smart, they should be funny, they should play board games, we should share interests in common, right? Like, their physical beauty doesn't matter at all, and it's not even something that would cross my mind as something that should impact a friendship, and I miss it being a thing that would just not cross my mind, period. So yeah, what do you think? I'm really curious, and follow me if you're a superhero for more about politics, culture, and the world. And for God's sake, please be friends with people who come from different backgrounds, who are going through different struggles, and who look like all sorts of things, because it really, really is what's on the inside that counts.
As someone who was never considered pretty going to school, and that was usually because I was dark-skinned, I'm realizing how much of that played into how I see myself with other people, specifically men now. A lot of my friends have this great way of carrying themselves when it comes to men and entering certain rooms that I've always been like, oh, I love that. That's so beautiful. But I realized that I didn't carry it the same because I was still holding on to the younger version of me that didn't feel like they were attractive enough. Even so, when it came to men approaching me, I felt like I had to entertain them because who knew if it would happen again, because, you know, kind of felt like an ugly girl syndrome. Like, it would not happen. It was once in a blue, even to the point of dating attractive men. I was like, damn, how'd I land him? The fuck? But now that I'm older and I am so aware of myself and so aware of all of this and the rest of the body, because I know y'all seen it, I have now come to the point where I'm just like, bitch, what are you doing? But it's in the sense of I'm very proud of myself. I'm like, yes, Fab, now we're aware of who we are. We're aware of how we are presented in this world. So let's change how we do things. So if you are a man that had access to me in a certain way, please know it's now revoked. I know what I deserve.
It looks
And
so,
it's not
so
crumbs.
pretty.
It's not the bare minimum. And it's not bullshit. So I'm sorry to you, but I'm thankful to me. She's aware. If you're a girl that's not aware, a girl, guy, gay, they, whatever, it's okay. It'll take time sometimes. But start looking at yourself in the mirror. Start being aware of how you carry yourself. Start being aware of like, wow, I'm amazing. Why wouldn't somebody want to be with me? So then you can act accordingly and not put up with the bullshit. Because going forward, I'm very much staying present. I'm very much being aware of who I am and what I deserve. And if you cannot come with all the goods, it's been real. Let's be clear, I'm not saying it in the sense of, oh, I'm a gold digger, this, that, and third. I'm saying it in the sense of emotional well-being, feeling safe around you and protected around you, feeling like I actually want to be my full self with you, not parts of myself. And if I don't feel that way, then again,
peace out.
Esteem is actually incredibly high for someone who is treated like they are ugly.
A whole sermon. That video is amazing. She's talking about how disorientating it can be when you think you're really beautiful, but society treats you like you're ugly. It's really interesting because as a Black woman, I've made an observation about pretty privilege, and not just Black women, anyone with attributes that deviate from Eurocentric beauty standards. It's like your pretty privilege becomes subjective. It's given or revoked based on the personal aesthetic preferences of the person you're interacting with. Even though you may be really pretty, because you don't fit into the globally accepted standard of beauty, your pretty privilege is like an inconsistent experience compared to someone who fits into the Eurocentric standard of beauty, who will have a consistent experience of pretty privilege regardless of who they talk to.
Get ready with me as I talk about being the ugly one in the friend group. Okay, first of all, I was a dark skin, you know, like, how can I put this? I was like a dark skin, and I was like on the bigger side, obviously. So yeah, like I would be that person that people would go and troll. Like, oh, go and talk to that girl. Oh, she likes you, she likes you. You know, when like dudes would troll girls, it would be me. And when I was like younger, obviously this is when I was younger, I would feel some type of way because all of my friends would have their own flings or whatever, and nobody liked me. Time is running out. Come back for part two.
I was the ugly friend. You know that friend that is the throwback in the group? Yes, that was me. I don't have that one friend in the group that everybody likes. That friend is not me, neither is it you. So this friend is someone that everybody always compliments and everything. And then I noticed that I was the you they go now friend. I struggled with my confidence. I struggled believing that I was even beautiful. So they're so pretty. I was that skinny friend, and no matter what I ate, I never added weight. I told myself I was going to let myself out of that ugly friend jail. First thing I started doing was hyping myself up. Every time I looked in the mirror, I'll tell myself I am the most beautiful. I am the finest. Nobody is finer than me. You get. When you start recognizing like there's so many things that are unique to you, you understand that you're really that girl. I started counting my blessings. Now you can call me short and call me broke, but you cannot call me ugly. Ugly where? Those clothes that you like, that you see on your friends, start buying it. Start dressing the way you actually want to be addressed. I'm not even saying that, oh, go and break your bank or anything. I started dressing how I actually love to see other girls. You're really not ugly. You're just not appreciating yourself. I started gifting myself every single month. Anything I wanted, I was going to buy for myself. Because if I'm going to wait for a man or a friend, you wait time. I don't know, I just felt like in my friend group, I wasn't fitting in. Can't lie. I am that girl. Be confident. When you're not feeling like it, you pretend. Invest in yourself, love yourself. And I promise you, you're going to be the best version of yourself without even realizing it.
Maturing is realizing that being ugly is peaceful.
I want to touch on this because I would say that's one of the benefits of being ugly. And I know there are people that are going to be saying, well, you're not ugly, you're not unattractive. And that maybe, like, you know, beauty is subjective in a way, but at the same time, you would know if you're unattractive. My phone is dry. My phone's dry. I don't get any messages. I don't get approached. I don't really get talked.
This video was hard to watch, and you watch it wishing and hoping that there was something that you could say without invalidating this young woman's experience. Particularly hard to watch for me because my daughter is 15 now, and middle school just destroyed her self-esteem. And she feels that she's ugly and unattractive.
Wow.
And no matter what we say,
it will make a difference.
Yeah. First and foremost, a lot of the responses that this young woman is getting is that, oh, you're not ugly, you're average. That's dumb.
Wow.
Stop it.
Wow.
If you feel that way,
you're not ugly, you're average.
Don't respond.
Oh.
There's also the issue of her depending on male validation or external validation, period. Especially when it comes to just people not approaching her. Look, I know that sometimes women can think, oh, well, nobody approaches me. There are 101 reasons why somebody may not approach you, even if they find you attractive. Now, for what it's worth, I do think this is a pretty young woman, and she shouldn't use her experiences. She did another video talking about how her cousins treated her as just one of them. And man, they are your cousins, right? But that being said, there really is nothing that can be said that can help with this. And as a father, I am struggling with it now. And it's just going to require some patience and some compassion on our end. But it is disheartening. It really is.
Now, I have a video where we discussed women feeling like they're ugly, especially when they don't get approached when they are with their friends. Now, that video has over 300,000 views and has thousands and thousands of comments. So many people shared their experience. So many people shared how they were able to overcome that phase of being the ugly friend and how not being approached by men affected them, and how now that they are older, they don't seek men validation. Some other people shared how not being approached is a peaceful thing for them. It's something that allows them not to be getting approached by riffraffs or dusties. Now, I shared in that video how I have always felt about myself. I said that I've never felt like conventionally pretty. I've always felt like I was ugly. Anytime I think about how I feel about myself, there's one particular incident that always comes to mind. That incident happened over 15 years ago and I still remember it. I remember when I was in the university and one of my classmates, we were waiting for a lecture and we were outside, and one of my classmates said, "Why is it that some days you look ugly and some days you look fine?" And I was like, wow. I don't think I responded, but I don't think it really affected me that time. But I remember, because I have a very oily skin and I'm acne prone, which is one of the things that is making me insecure. My face is, it has been almost 20 years of acne not leaving my face. As you can see, I already have one. It's like almost every week there's one popping out from somewhere. So and unlike now that I can cover up with concealer, foundation, powder and the rest, that time I barely used to use makeup. It was just maybe powder, and my face was very, very oily. And there was a day my roommate was telling me how people were saying that my face is always oily, and I came out from somewhere unknown to me and my face was oily, and they were like, "You see, her face is oily," and I don't know how I'm supposed to remove the oil from my face. But yeah, at that time, that kind of made me feel a particular kind of way. My acne, when it comes, I'm always very unhappy, because I also remember a particular time I had an acne on my nose just like this, and one of my classmates was kind of teasing me about the fact that I have acne on my nose. I cannot control where the acne comes on my face. I wish I could control it, but I cannot. And my acne leaves marks. That was another thing that happens to my face. And like I said, during my university days, I never used to wear makeup like that. In fact, you can't even wear makeup like that because you're in the lab and everything. So the marks would be there glaring, especially after the powder has faded off. It would be glaring. My face is with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation and so many dark spots. And those memories, coupled with the fact that, like I said, I don't feel I'm conventionally pretty, and I used to suffer, maybe I still suffer from a bit of low self-esteem, just made me just feel particular about my appearance. So seeing how people have been saying how they are overcoming the feeling of being like the ugly duckling or the ugly friend in the friend group has been kind of therapeutic to me. Now, some people in the comment section of that video were like, "Oh, you should stop looking for male validation, looking for people's validation." But the thing is, no matter how we say don't look for male validation, it is a human thing to want to be appreciated once in a while. Now, somebody in the comment section was talking about the fact that even though we are not looking for male validation or male gaze or something, it is kind of disgusting how some men will make it obvious that, oh, this person is very ugly, so this person should be treated like shit. This person is not supposed to be near me. Why is the person near you as a female and the rest? We also saw some cases where some females will actually want to be friends with the person they consider ugly so that they would get more of the male attention because it will make them look prettier. Some people in the comment section said how their cousins and family members used to like just make them feel a particular kind of way to bring down their self-esteem, and then when they glowed up, they started acting in a particular kind of way, and it was obvious that they were using her at that point to make them look good. Now, also, some people are, like I said, people are saying you don't need male validation, you don't need all that. But like the last guy was talking about his daughter that is in high school and how her confidence has been shattered because she doesn't feel like she's conventionally pretty. Now, even though we as adults, some of us are struggling, but the older we get, it might get better, we might be able to cope with it. But as a child, it's not that easy to say you don't need male validation, you should love yourself. Like he said, even with all what they are doing, or what the family are saying to her, his daughter doesn't feel like they are saying the truth. And in the other video, we talked about the fact that even though your family members are saying you're looking pretty, when you go outside and people are not approaching you, guys are now approaching you, people are not saying you're looking pretty, you believe that all what they're saying is a lie. So now the daughter is not believing her parents, not believing her family, and now her confidence has dropped and she's struggling. Now for her, if her confidence doesn't improve, it can kind of restrict her growth in a particular kind of way, because things that you could have been actively pursuing, things that you could have actively done, because you lack that self-esteem, you lack that confidence, you would just say, I'm not interested. And those things that you could have done could help with your self-growth, could help with your growth as an adult. I know there's a lot of things that I would have wanted to do, but my self-esteem was down, so I didn't trust that I was good enough. So I used to suffer, and I still do suffer from imposter syndrome. I don't feel I'm good enough for a lot of things. I was just thinking about, what am I good enough for? Then if she continues to not take up those opportunities, do all those things, and our friends are doing it, they continue to advance, their confidence continues to grow, and the validation from people increases, and it decreases, it can also affect them mentally and just cause a lot of issues in the future. So in such cases, I don't think saying, oh, you don't need male validation and the rest is the right approach to dealing with a child that is in high school and struggling with looks and struggling with confidence. I feel for those kind of girls, it's the friends group that would be a major help. Like if all our friends are encouraging her and pushing her to do things, it can eventually help with the self-esteem, it can eventually help with the confidence. But not everybody can make good friends, and not all friends are good. So I don't know, I would love to hear what you think, especially about the child that is in high school and is struggling with her confidence and her looks. I would love to hear what you think about how she can improve her confidence, how she can improve her self-esteem, and not think about the fact that she feels like she is the ugly friend. I would love to hear what you guys think. I would love to hear your suggestions. So please leave your comment in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. And with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.